Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. Just hanging out with you. I got my cuppa. This is Paul Newman, the original, organic special blend. Mm-hmm. Funny, somebody asked me the other day how many grams of fat I have, and it ends up, I usually have between like 40 and 70 or something like that per day, grams of fat. But when I was having my coffee loaded, oh yeah, that got me up to 100 in no time. Some of this, some of that, but that's how it goes. It was monumental for me to get to black coffee after all these years, now that I'm 70. Wow. So here we are, and it's another, I'm just the sort of person that likes a nice, ordinary day. There's a lot of food prepping that I do every day. And because Greg has like a different menu than me, he's pretty much standard American diet. So there's certain days that we have different things. Like today, I'm having my crack slaw with some sesame seed oil, some ghee, and some sriracha sauce, and some roasted sesame seeds on it, in it. Oh, love it. And he's having the leftover steak from the big green egg from yesterday with some peppers. I take an organic pepper and, slice it up and fry it up and mix those two. He loves that, but plus he has all his sides. So I do a lot of food prepping every day, and I like it. But I get up early and make him crazy with the smells. But it's his food. Funny, huh? And continue to do my keto food plan and listen to people that do keto and listen to people that used to do carnivore that now are back to keto like me with a little veg. I probably have more than a little veg. I try to keep my carbs below 20 total. I've never been a net person. And so that's what I do. And it's just a simple, typical day of a little bit of food prepping, and then I'll go out and I'll do some Ubering, some lifting, some Uber eating, and then some Instacarting. And I love to do the Instacart. I don't make any money at it whatsoever. They're really a cheap company. But it's so much fun to see what people eat. And I love it when I get an organic, high-end type of person because it's so much fun because I shop for them like I would shop for myself. And I want to say to them, why don't you go to Whole Foods? The veggies are organic and much cheaper at Whole Foods than they are at these stores. But I can't tell them that, of course. But the selection at Whole Foods is definitely high end. But different communities have different sorts of people, and sometimes they're wealthy, old money, we used to call them, people in the hometown that I come from, Harwich on the Cape, kind of down here by the elbow, and I live kind of here in Hyannis. And so you can just picture them sitting on their waterfront decks, porches, having cheese and crackers with a few cocktails before dinner. And, I can tell by the sort of food this particular Harwich port, Stamacket, has a butcher next to the fish part. And so beautiful cuts of meat, and they have grass fed, and they actually have sales on grass fed. So it's really nice, and you can just picture their lovely meals that they have each night with little pieces of meat and a few asparagus on the great big plate. Oh, the finery of it all. And so I enjoy seeing what they're having, and some people love their crackers and cheese, and it's just very, very interesting. I never tire of it, but when I get an order that starts off in the produce part and it's like, great veggies, organic, just stuff like that, I love that. So it just keeps it's like, yes, Sarah, get a life. Well, this is my life. This is my new normal, is doing things for others, but with a mask, at a distance. I usually don't meet the people I'm shopping for. They don't meet me at the door, although one young woman did yesterday, and it was great. She took some heavy things from me. But it's just it's just a nice way of life, and it's just interesting if I do see the people. This couple, he had his arm around her and she had her arm around like his waist, and they're waving to me from their house after I delivered. And that's like, they were 40 feet away. And it just reminded me of like leaving my grandparents' house as a little girl where they're both waving and you can't wait to get rid of the brat, all that. So that's my fun. I planned out my keto menu on my chronometer for the week, and it just, it just puts everything in a nice place. I had a pot roast last week from US Wellness that I had in my freezer, and the leftover meat, I will make a cauliflower, carrot beef stew. I'll shred the beef that's left. That will be for tomorrow. Keto pizza's coming back with, the cheese and egg crust and then the toppings. Haven't had a keto pizza in months, so that'll be fun. Pizza pizza, really, no almond flour. And then the usual eggs with hot Italian sausage. That's usually a Thursday sort of thing. And then Friday, the burger and the hot dog with the Applegate hot dog. And so it's nice to plan it out. It just works for me. I made a couple of pizza bowls on Saturday, and they're in the freezer. So it's that's my version of a grab and go, something gloppy made ahead of time. Great little recipe, so simple. And it's just, a little pepperoni goes a long way with flavoring. So it's like 1 ounce of pepperoni. So that keeps the calorie count low. It's like 552 calories, but it has 2 ounces of mozzarella cheese, which is deep down and bubbly, and I like goopy stuff. That recipe can be found on Picky Palate, and it's called Pizza Bowl. It's they put low carb by it, I think, too. So I enjoy that. And so I continue to read my Mark Sisson newsletters. He writes like he talks. He feels like a big brother, even though I'm older than him, but he just seems like such a wise soul, and I always appreciate him. And then I listen to people like Beating Obesity Jim. I miss Carnomad, haven't seen a video of his for a long, long time. I do like Michelle Rock, even though she's a whole lot younger than me, but I love as she preps she likes her coffees, and she makes them, she just makes them look so delicious. So those are the people, and then I'll find other things like, the Down Under series and other places where the doctors give talks. Dr. Cyrus is one of my favorites, of course, the food addiction doc. He's got his little baby now, just like Dr. Barry and Nisha have their little baby now. So it's just fun to see the young people. It doesn't necessarily work for me how they do it, but I still, follow them. For me, it ends up being a calories in, calories out. I keep my calories below 1,000 usually, and I aim for my carbs total under 20. And with those two components, I end up with a nice meal that you can see usually posted as my Keto OMAD quick video that I do before I sit down and chow down. So those are my things. And sure, I'm not for everybody. I'm not flashy and no great graphics and all kinds of stuff like that. Don't know how, never figured it out. But I sit here and talk sanity in the mess of the diet wars and the pandemic. I like to be simple, structured, disciplined, and consistent. I think consistency with my OMAD is probably one of the most important parts of the whole Megillah. Just having that one meal a day for my tired old metabolism, keeping it under 1,000, it makes for a great, hearty meal, and my body is totally adapted to it. I don't, because I do my day job of the Instacart, Uber, and all that. There's no time to stop and eat, but I'm not missing the food anymore. I've been doing OMAD for so long that this is my way of eating, and it seems to suit me. might not be for everybody, and that's quite okay. It's finding your food plan that works with your way of instituting it. It could be 3 meals a day still, it could be two, and it could be the one. Or maybe it's alternate days of eating as well. That works for some people. I'm sure if you watched my old keto, um, what I eat in a day or my grocery hauls, you'd be like, oh, wow, really? Still? But I don't do a lot of the things anymore. I don't do the coconut flour, the almond flour. There's no quick and easy way to get skinny as an older person or just lose weight or become comfortable or get your numbers down with your labs or whatever your goals are. It takes a while. It's 3 miles into the woods in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s with food, and it might be 50 miles out of the woods at 50, 60, 70, trying to get back what you had in a way that suits you. If you've gotten to the point of insulin resistance, you're really going to have a tough time. That's just how it goes. That's the 50 miles back out of the woods. But sticking to it, what else you got going, right? If you want to live another day and get healthier, I guess it means that, settling into something that works without with plenty of consistency and without I've done this for a few days. I should be there by now, but I'm not. So I'm going to eat what I'm not supposed to. I always called keto the grown-up diet because it's like you're doing it on your own. It's not like you're going to Jenny Craig reporting, or it's not like, Nutrisystem where you're eating what they send you. And so, it's really taking charge of your own body. And for some of us, that would be me, it's finally taking charge of my body and what I do with it. As a lot of you, you end up with just a whole bunch of different doctor's appointments. Sometimes they're visits, which is good. And other times there's because something came up. And that's the part about aging. And if you're doing a nice keto food plan without all the added junky things, then you're doing really well. I know a lot of people have a lot of different keto supplements. The stores are flooded with them. They're flooded online, all these different pills and concoctions and smoothie drinks and, all the different things that you can do and spend money doing them. But if you just buy the best produce that you can buy and the best meat that you can buy, you still might be getting some nutrition out of those things, even though we know our vegetables are depleted from, the soil is depleted from all of that. But we do the best we can and hope that our labs are always good or improving, right? So that's my deal for today. It's just another typical day in the world of Sarah and her keto food plan. And I am about to go bathe and get ready for my Uber Eats, Uber day, and Instacart day. And that's what I do. And I hope you have a great day doing what you do too. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad you're here and you had your cuppa. Maybe you did your rebounder and you're ready for your day too. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.